Okay, folks, we are 1 week into the new year, 2024, and there is already a massive scandal involving Justin Trudeau. You can't make this up, and we're going to be talking about it today. We're going to be doing a contrast and comparison of the current unfortunate Prime Minister and Canada's inevitable new Prime Minister. Welcome back, everybody. Before we get into this, though, I highly want to encourage everyone to smash that like button. Do it once. If you do it twice, it actually unlikes. Or 3 times. Only do it on odd numbers, I suppose. Subscribe if you haven't yet already, so you can stay updated of all things to do with Canadian news, Canadian politics, and now Canadian politician scandals, which just seem to be happening all too frequently. And I highly encourage everybody to hit that bell notification so you can actually be notified, because subscribing does help tremendously, of course, but that bell notification pushes it one step further. And before we start this video, before we get into numbers and videos and opinions and stuff like that, we're gonna take a message from today's sponsor. And before I do, I want to actually thank today's sponsor, Private Internet Access. I want to thank today's sponsor, Private Internet Access. We've teamed up together, and PIA is willing to offer my audience 83% off by using code SUNSHINE. Now, here in Canada, with Justin Trudeau in power, not only is he kind of like a communist dictator, but he's also censoring the internet, which is why you need a VPN to encrypt yourself and be able to bounce around different geolocations to really mask your not only digital footprint, but to mask your identity, because right now it's hard enough as it is to even get the news. That's right. Bill C-18 prevents users, everyday people such as yourself, myself, from accessing simple information that is our freedom of rights to information here in Canada. If you go on Facebook, you currently can't even see Canadian news. It's wild, and who knows what's next. Maybe he's going to ban everything with Google, maybe here on YouTube. So you need to cover yourself and protect yourself with a VPN such as Private Internet Access. And what better way to do that here in Canada than having 83% off? The link for that is down in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. Use code SUNSHINE with Private Internet Access for 83% off. Thank you, Private Internet Access, for sponsoring today's video. All right, so we're going to start off with the usual. We're going to take a look at the polls. Have the polls changed since the last time? Not really. Okay, we're kind of in the dry spell. There is no House of Commons. There's not really much press conferences that will change in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but it's still very important to monitor the polls, because the most important thing is where the Liberals stand. Right, Liberals and NDP, because their coalition is what's ultimately going to have the biggest say in the outcome of the next election. Jagmeet Singh is not exempt from controversies. He is a really bad person. I mean, he's a really bad person. He says and does really bad things. And it's all selfish. None of it is to really better the country or to better people's lives. It's all coming from a selfish greed point of view. And that's why they are really just horribly positioned in the polls, as are the Liberals. And when we scroll down to the projected outcome, you still have Liberals at 1%. Oh yeah, they have a huge uphill ahead of them, and you have pretty much guaranteed to win the next election is the Conservatives. And I've said this once, I've said it twice, I've said it multiple times. I am firmly under the impression that it would take multiple blackface appearances and multiple Nazi appearances or invites from Pierre Poilievre for there to be an actual significant change in the polls. Now, will Pierre, out of sheer fun or gamble, invite a Nazi into Parliament? I highly doubt it. I really highly doubt it. And will he do blackface? I can almost guarantee you that he will not. And so the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how bad is Trudeau going to mess up? How is he going to continue to mess up? Well, what we're going to take a look at today is his Jamaica vacation scandal. No, not the one from a few years ago where he took a bribe. The one that just happened. Yeah, that's right. And another question to ask is, where is Justin Trudeau? Which is a perfect segue to this next thing. If you want a matching sticker like the one on my microphone, you can find that down in the description, or, well, I guess not the pinned comment, because that's going to be reserved for Private Internet Access, today's sponsor. But the stickers of "Have you seen Justin Trudeau? Have you seen me?" are available for purchase down below. Now, let's take a look at Canada's next Prime Minister Pierre Poilievre, because this is a video he just came out with, I believe, today.
Today, Orthodox Christians around the world are celebrating the birth of the Savior Jesus Christ. Together, they rejoice in the miracle of Christmas and take comfort in the enduring promise of hope in hard times. Hope that has sustained generations of Orthodox worshipers, from the thousands who fled persecution and found freedom here in Canada, to the many who face persecution again today. Through it all, these incredible people have held on to the hope of the Nativity story. I'm grateful that Canada has been a beacon of freedom and opportunity for these Christian communities. As you celebrate the blessings of this joyful season, may the Savior's message of eternal love warm your home and your heart. On behalf of Canada's common sense conservatives, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right, so a couple things in this video. One, he looks extremely sharp. He's doing a Christmas video for Orthodox Christians, and I mean, he looks great. He's wearing his suit, he's wearing his tie, he's wearing his lapel mic, he looks presentable. Where is Justin Trudeau in this? Did Justin Trudeau come with a video like this? I really don't think so. Now, there's a lot of criticism amongst, everybody who dislikes Justin Trudeau, which is the majority of, I don't even want to say Canadians at this point. It's of the world. A lot of people from different countries are really pissed with Justin Trudeau, and that kind of spawned, from his name, his family name, but also from how he acted during the Freedom Convoy. Trudeau is now under fire for a Christmas vacation at a luxury estate in Jamaica. Is this a bribe? Is this not a bribe? I don't know. Let's take a look at the details here, because you literally can't make this up. Pierre Poilievre, he's doing all the right things. He's doing all the right things. Justin Trudeau is not. So this vacation property, a former slave plantation, can cost $7,000 a night over Christmas, but the Prime Minister's stay was a gift from a friend. This is coming from the Toronto Sun, Brian Lilly. After initially saying Trudeau and his family would be paying to cover the cost of their vacation, the PMO announced Wednesday that the family stayed at no cost at no cost at a location owned by family friends. The location, the Prospect Estate in Jamaica, is owned by the Green family, who have been close to the Trudeaus for years. In fact, Justin Trudeau stayed at the same property last Christmas. It's unclear if he stayed at the great house of this former sugar plantation, which boasted as many as 162 slaves, or in one of the other homes, such as Frankfurt. Either way, it comes with a hefty price tag. Frankfurt currently rents out for $7,000 US, which we know converts to about $105,000 Canadian, give or take a little bit, per night, meaning the 9-night trip from December 26th to January 4th came at a cost of $63,000 US or $84,000 Canadian just for accommodations. Now, we've taken a look previously from press releases and public information about how much the security detail costs, and it's a lot. And maybe I should have been a little bit more prepared for this specific video, but you can imagine that it's probably over $1 million. I think that's actually accurate. I think the Toronto Sun has published this, or the National Post in the past, over $1 million a month. So he doesn't just go on vacation by himself. He takes his security detail with him. And so has to pay for travel, has to pay for food, has to pay for special expenses, and yada, yada, yada. So it's costing more than $84,000 for this recent trip to Jamaica, which seems like it was a bribe. And now we're going to see Justin Trudeau making apology videos. I had no idea that this resort or this location used to be a slave plantation. I am so sorry. I'm a liberal and I am extremely empathetic to other people. And how could I have done that as the leader of the country? I can tell you right now, everything that Justin Trudeau preaches to be, a feminist, an empathetic person, a nice person, a human being, all of those things, they go out the window when you have this many controversies. It's absolutely insane. You know who doesn't have this many controversies? Pierre freaking Poilievre. You got to give kudos to him because he's doing a great job of not messing up at such levels as what Justin Trudeau is doing. Even CTV News is running with this story. I mean, this is everywhere, folks. It's absolutely everywhere.
For the second time in 4 months, a plane transporting Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has broken down on an international trip. This time he was on a family vacation in Jamaica. The Department of National Defense said a maintenance team and aircraft were dispatched to conduct repairs and as backup, but he was able to return on the original plane. Trudeau's flight was grounded in India for 2 days during the G20 summit in September.
Oh, yeah. Did I forget to mention at the start of this video that his plane had another malfunction and he was grounded for a little bit longer at his extended vacation, and that cost more money? Oops. Now you know. Good thing you watched the full videos. Here we go. We have another one pulled up by Global.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's recent vacation required a second aircraft after problems with his government plane. The PM took a Royal Canadian Air Force Challenger to Jamaica for the trip, and according to the Department of National Defense, an aircraft inspection on Tuesday revealed a maintenance issue prior to the PM's return flight. That prompted a second aircraft and a maintenance team to fly south to remedy the issue. The second plane remained in the area as a backup, and Trudeau returned on the original aircraft. In September, technical issues on a different plane delayed Trudeau's departure from the G20 summit in India.
I mean, what a joke. So when you factor in the fuel costs for the plane that came to rescue him, which he never used, the staff, the accommodations for everyone, you're probably looking close, if not significantly more, of the $500,000 to multi-million dollars worth of taxpayers' money to fund his personal shenanigans. This is insane. He's taxing you and I to death through the carbon tax, raised property taxes. Everything is accumulating. And while you and I are struggling or finding financial hardships through regular cost of living things here in this country, Trudeau is out doing this, mismanaging our money. Now, okay, let's say it was $5 million. Is that a significant amount of money? Is that going to make millions of Canadians bankrupt? No. But how many times has he done this? What else is he doing? How much other money laundering or mismanagement of money is happening in this country? These are the questions that you have to ask yourself, that you have to be open to, because it's not just one trip. It's repeated trips, repeated unexpected taxpayers' money, mismanagement of our country's money. It's so clear. It's so clear. And I hope that you can see the light that Justin Trudeau is not fit to be prime minister. He's just not. He's horrible. He's doing horrible things with our money, our hard-earned money. He's gouging us to death. He doesn't care. There is little to no actual financial relief from the Liberals or any future Liberal plans or policies. It's pretty bad, folks. It's pretty bad. And if you're angry with the government, if you're upset with the government, if you're frustrated, if you're confused, you found the right channel. You found the right place, because I just don't see how the Liberals could ever turn this around and do things that are in the best interest of Canadians moving forward. You even have breakfast television that has a full segment on this. Let's take a look.
So it is the holidays. It's the early part of the year. In Canadian politics, it's also known as get mad at politicians for vacationing time. So that has continued into 2024, and this next story revolves around our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. So Trudeau's office is clarifying that he and his family, including Sophie and the kids, everyone's down in Jamaica, at, quote, no cost to taxpayers, end quote. That's the statement. Initially, it was said that Trudeau's family would pay for the stay and that they would reimburse the public for the cost. The ethics commissioner was consulted for the trip. That's important to note. Last year, the Trudeau family were in Jamaica, and it cost taxpayers $160,000.
It's important to note, in addition to the important note that Breakfast Television just mentioned, that the ethics commissioner is somebody who Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have directly appointed. There wouldn't be a conservative ethics commissioner or a non-biased ethics commissioner. It's somebody that they have strategically positioned so that they can just check a box and say, yeah, there's no breach of ethics or violations or conflict of interest of any sort. That's like saying if you commit a crime or you do something that is technically illegal, right, by the book, and then you get to appoint a judge, anyone you want to be. It could be your mom, could be your family, could be your spouse, could be your partner, could be a sister, could be a brother, a sibling, whatever it is, to make the decision and be like, hey, man, don't rat me out. Come on. And they're like, I, the judge, make a decision that this person did not, in fact, commit a crime. Nothing suspicious there, folks. No, it's not even worth making a YouTube video over it. Or is it?
We're talking travel, security. A reminder, he's our prime minister. The PM was found to have broken ethics rules previously, so I understand this at times being a touchy subject with Justin Trudeau when traveling abroad. But this is now, it's now becoming very consistent, Mayor, and I'm kind of getting sick of the story. Where do you want to start with this?
Well, as someone who is in a blended family, I think the idea that Sophie is there should not cause anyone any kind of alarm or start any kind of, rumors or, when you have split, you do try for the kids to sort of be together at holiday season. You're creating new traditions. So I know that part of the story is sort of catching fire a little bit. So I think, we need to put that out. And the next one, I'm with you, Sid. It's a frustrating rhetoric. It's a frustrating narrative that kind of keeps coming back. He needs to take a break. He's got a family. I mean, a lot of people who work hard go on vacation. And he is someone of huge note and importance to our country and requires some security and some assistance with that. Some ways to get there, ways to get back. I mean, are you going to be sitting there and then all of a sudden Trudeau's next to you on your way to Jamaica? I don't think so. Like no other country would require
eggs
that.
Benedict in the morning.
All right. So notice how they didn't mention at all that it was a former slave plantation. Would that be inappropriate to bring on some form of mainstream television here in Canada? Or do you have to resort to the Toronto Sun or some sort of alternatives to get that information? And that's a pretty big issue. I mean, that's a huge deal that they didn't mention that. You kind of get to see their bias. And I agree. In addition to what they're saying, I do agree that people need a vacation. As much as you and I might be struggling to have the money to actually go on a form of vacation because the cost of living is so freaking expensive. It's like, I can't really justify doing that. I got to rent to pay or mortgage or bills, or I'm behind, or I got to plan for this. I got to plan for that. It makes sense that not everybody is in a position to be able to afford a vacation right now. So should we hold a grudge to those who can afford a vacation? The answer is no. But it's a big but. It's a big but. When you're using taxpayers' money, our money, and we're being gouged left, right, and center here in Canada to then go on these extravagant vacations to a former slave plantation, it doesn't look good. And then when you have some mechanical issues with your plane, you have to hire another plane to come get you, and then it doesn't even do that, and then you end up flying back on your plane that you just fixed. A vacation that should have cost $80,000 for out of your own personal money, it's now tapping into taxpayers' money. And security detail, of course. Look, if the roles were reversed, okay, if it was Pierre Poilievre who's like, hey guys, I've been just elected your prime minister, it's Christmas time, I'm going to take my family out on a vacation. Yeah, like we wouldn't be like, Pierre, how dare you go on a vacation? That is horrible. Nobody's saying that. It's the cost of everything. It's the extravagant nature of everything. Pierre currently flies economy. Like even his car is like a Honda Civic or some random form of vehicle. Again, when Pierre actually becomes prime minister, yeah, he's going to be in the armored cars. He's going to have his own plane, all those things. So will the criticism be the exact same towards Pierre? I don't know. I think there's so many reasons to actually really dislike and borderline hate Justin Trudeau that anytime he appears in the news or on TV or in a YouTube video, we just say, that man, I hate that man, so I'm going to be bad. And that's okay, because that is actually justified given what Justin has done to you and I and this entire country, and set the precedent that it's okay to beat people up who are protesting and all those things. So that anger is justified, but we do have to check ourselves from time to time. And you're seeing me do that right now in this video. Am I being critical for the right reasons? I don't know. I'd love to know down in the comments what you think. What if it was Pierre? What if it was somebody else? What if it was me that went on vacation and I'm prime minister? How would you feel, right? So there's like a balance to be found, but this just doesn't look good on Justin Trudeau. It seems like another bribe. It seems like more controversy. So I have to respectfully disagree with what the Breakfast Television is saying, because they skipped out on a pretty important detail. The slave plantation, or I guess the former slave plantation. That's where we're going to end today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I'd love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you upset that Justin Trudeau is spending potentially millions of dollars on this luxurious Christmas vacation, or do you not care? Love to know what you guys think down below. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.